stick to give them a spanking. God's made a place on their body that's well padded, that they can receive a spanking without being bruised or without breaking any bones. It's God's way to correct them that is so much better than many of the means that people use out of frustration and anger. So we want to correct them properly. In Proverbs 19 and verse 18, God says, "Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not your soul spare for his crying." God is saying that there is a window of opportunity. He says, chasten them while there's hope. And we must begin when they're young to teach them obedience. And that doesn't mean you give them a spanking for every little thing that happens. But we must teach them obedience. And he says, just because they cry, you don't stop correcting them. You correct them so that you can change their behavior. In the space program, there's a term that is used as a window of opportunity for that spaceship to land on Earth. And God gives parents a window of opportunity to correct their children and establish them in God's way. And we want to begin when they're young. I believe between the ages of 1 to 4 is really one of the greatest learning times in their life. And parents, we want to be diligent to spend time with our children. I agree for mothers that have to work outside the home. God really wants us to invest in our children and correct them and lead them into the right way. Show them what we expect of them. We don't want to miss our opportunity. Early childhood is dealing with outward actions. When the children get older, we're dealing with attitudes in them. Teenagers especially have a lot of bad attitudes. But we want to deal with them when they're young to help them overcome their acts of disobedience and learn to obey us so that they can prosper and do well in their lifetimes.